Joy Jr. Oh, y'all, did y'all hear what the Giants general manager had to say about, and Joe, my man, so that's my guy, though, Daniel Jones, the quarterback. Family, this morning I woke up and I read this and then I heard it, and I had to make sure you at home, the audience, listen to the story that we are about to discuss. Remember, the Giants got rid of their all-star running back Saquon Barkley, and they're leaning and going all in on Daniel Jones. Well, I heard the sound. I want to make sure that you hear it as well. Then we'll talk about it. Turn your volumes up and take a listen.
A large part of our offense, our explosiveness, our touchdowns, quarterback, if it's Daniel, depends on the run game.
We got to upgrade the offensive line, and you're paying the guy $40 million. It's not to hand the ball off to a $12 million back. My plan is to address the offensive line at some point here in free agency. We're sitting at 6. There's a chance there's an offensive weapon there. This is the year for Daniel.
This is a year for Daniel. I loved hearing that quote, mainly because it brought us inside the Giants' decision-making process. They're talking about handing the ball to their $12 million running back. Let me hand this conversation to our $1 million running back, LaShawn Shady. Stop. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. We're retired now.
I look 40?
No, he does.
All smooth with that 40 stuff, man.
Shady, you kick it off, big dog. Are the Giants making a mistake giving the keys to Daniel Jones?
What are we even talking? Yes, yes. Yo, when I heard it, when I heard this whole conversation, right? I love the hard knocks, right? Because you get in the locker room and really know what's really going on. And the crazy thing is, I was cool with Joe. I still am cool with Joe. So I shouldn't say was. I still am cool with Joe, the GM.
Yes, sir.
But to hear the conversation, like, I thought I had my own opinion about Daniel Jones. I thought my opinion was like everyone else in the world that watches the Giants, that watches football. They don't see the same thing. They think Daniel Jones is a good player. So now when I think about him getting that money, right? Because sometimes I feel like teams get pressured to paying players because of the market, and I don't have to go through the whole thing drafting a quarterback. But no, they think that he is the guy. You know what's crazy, man? When you talk about making a mistake, the mistake is not now. It's when you drafted a player from Duke at the 6th pick. Is that what it was? 6th pick?
Yeah. It was highly criticized.
Come on, right? This ain't basketball. This ain't Coach K and them dudes. So it's a big mistake. When you got a guy like Saquon Barkley, the question they asked was, what's going to be our identity if he's not here? What is it?
Daniel Jones.
It's Daniel Jones. That can't be the answer. You can't expect to go far in the NFL when your quarterback is that bad, is that awful. I don't see nothing good about him. I don't see no growth. And then he says, okay, well, is there a quarterback for the next 10 years, or will we do a pivot and go somewhere else? What the hell you think? So when you ask this question about the Giants, how good they'll be, this is the question you have to ask. Daniel Jones, is he your guy? And everybody can tell you, no, he's not. My son's 12 years old. He don't like to play with the Giants on Madden. I'm like, why, son? The quarterback's trash.
Man.
It's crazy.
At least he called him trash, not the other words McCoy has used.
He can be both. He can be both.
Shady, I heartfeltly disagree with you.
See, there you go again.
I want to hear this. No, the only reason, because Shady said this. He said they think he's the guy. I don't think that they think he's the guy. I just think they want to be convinced that he's not. And the reason I'm cool with the Giants going all in on DJ is because they paid him $80 million. If you pay a guy $80 million, then you better be for certain that he is not your future. Not, well, he got hurt, so he might not be the future. You better be, without a doubt, abundantly clear that he is not your quarterback. What we all on this desk agree with, and we've said it plenty of times, from Joy to James to Shady to myself, is no quarterback succeeds at a high level without a dominant receiver or receiving threat. Whether it's Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, amongst others, you name it, none of them do. Daniel Jones is the only $40 million quarterback that ain't got no Pro Bowl wide receivers. You could blame him for that, though. But listen to what I'll say next. He also has no Pro Bowl offensive linemen. That's not a Daniel Jones issue. So Daniel Jones is the only quarterback in the National Football League making $40 million that had no Pro Bowl wideout and had no Pro Bowl O-lineman. So if you really want to assess Daniel Jones, give him the complete and fairest shot possible, which is giving him the opportunity to have Pro Bowl talent at wideout and have Pro Bowl talent on the offensive line. It's not that I love it, Joy, because I believe in DJ. That's not what it is. I love it because thank you for committing and going all in. So if it doesn't work, you can say you did everything within your power, and now we have irreconcilable difference.
All right, so just go broke.
Go all. You already did.
I mean, did you? You guys gamble, right? Yeah. You like to gamble, play cards. Do you? I don't really play cards very much. I play roulette or craps, and people give me money, and I look cute. Do you double down on mistakes?
No.
No.
Don't look at me. Don't not look at me.
Like,
I'm not you.
Is that a strategy? Is that a winning strategy to double down on mistakes?
No.
No. Thank you, James. Why are you doubling down on a mistake? Yeah, you paid him. Did you think that was a good idea to pay him? Did we think it was a good idea to pay him? People didn't think it was a good idea to draft him. Shady keeps bringing up drafting him. People couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe that he was drafted at that spot, let alone paid. And listen, I don't want to dump all on Daniel Jones. I don't think he's that good of a player. I don't think he has a lot of great talent around him. But I think the thing that he does best is run.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? And he's like okay at that.
Right.
So I think they overreacted to him winning a playoff game. I think that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair.
He was bad. He had a good year.
Yeah.
He had a good year. We got all crazy. It was a good year. It was not a great year.
I'm about to say the year that you're talking about was just okay.
That's what I'm saying. It was a good year. You won a playoff game. By the way, and that's super hard to do. There are organizations that haven't won playoff games in decades. Okay,
yes,
it's super hard to win playoff games.
Yes, it is.
Fine, but we can also have a little context here. How did they win? Who did they beat? What happened next? Like, you can also use your eyeballs. We're talking about, should we pay a Dak Prescott? Dak wins every year. Mm-hmm. His great record every single year. Puts up numbers, all-pro in the MVP conversation, and wins playoff games. Sub. Mm-hmm. And looks good. And looks good. Daniel, I'm just confused. Why do you have to double down on a mistake?
I guess my question when you say that is, they're not convinced it's a mistake yet. And the reason I would suggest it, I hear you not being convinced it's a mistake. You've had Brian Daboll for 2 years.
Take the money out of it. Take the money out of it.
Yep.
Oh, no, hold on, Acho.
Yes, sir.
You watched the most tape up here.
Yes, sir.
You watched Daniel Jones. So I'm just trying to understand, as you sit there in that office right now, what you looking at? Like, for real. Like, I understand he's a first-round pick. I understand first-round picks get 37 years to play in the National Football League, even if you're garbage.
That is true.
What is this man looking at right here with Daniel Jones? There's not a throw that we can choose right now in our head right now from watching the Giants play, and the Giants have almost the most primetime games out of anybody in the National Football League every year, being sorry. And it's not a throw that we can say, ooh-wee. So what they talking about?
He's 1 in 12 in primetime games. But.
So like what are they looking at?
But James, you've said this a lot, and everybody at this table has said this, what I'm about to say. You said quarterbacks need help. Joy, you say I'm not going to, why do we have to suffer? Why do we have to praise quarterbacks that suffer, right? Like, quarterbacks need help. Daniel Jones, who's his best receiver been? Sterling Shepard? Hyatt? Literally, Odell wasn't there. Who's his best receiver been? Offensive line has been porous. The only reason I like the decision, it's not that I like Daniel Jones, and I hope I make that clear. It's not that I like Daniel Jones, but what I like, Shady, what I like, Joy, is they're right. You don't pay a quarterback $40 million for him to hand it.
Are they better this year?
So why some of these good quarterbacks why some of these elite quarterbacks got good backs?
You say elite quarterbacks? What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
So why some of these elite quarterbacks got good backs?
But that's before we go to the other teammates, right? Because I see you trying to blame the blame game to everybody else. Let's talk about him though, because if a quarterback or even a player is on a bad team, you should show me some type of good flash. Okay, he's gonna be good in the future. He don't show us none of that. In 5 years, right? He had 5 years to show us, yo, you may be the guy, right? No Pro Bowls. I won't even dare whisper all pro. I won't even talk about that. 1 winning season in 5 years. Made the playoffs once in 5 years, right? He's 22 and 36 as a starter, 75 touchdowns and 64 turnovers. So when I'm asking you, it's like, Acho, where did he show you that, yo, we should pay you $40 million a year? Because we keep going to that. But where question was that answer where we should pay you that money?
He whispered it. He did not yell it.
He whispered.
But in 2022, Shady, when Daniel Jones had 22 total touchdowns, 760 rushing yards. He only had 5 interceptions. He won a playoff game. He has one less play. Oh, hold on.
I want to let him finish.
He got one less playoff win, if I'm not mistaken, than the other NFC quarterbacks in Jalen Hurts, who has 2 playoff wins. I think Dak Prescott has 2
do that, please.
or 3 playoff
Can
wins.
we not do that,
I'm not doing it. Daniel and Jalen and Dak did.
Was it 3,100 yards pass?
He had 400 yards of total offense, and he had 2.
They were 9, 7, and 1.
Wait, tell him the yards passing.
3,200 passing yards.
But he had 700 rushing.
22 touchdowns total.
He had 700 rushing. All I'm saying is this. I think if you're saying when did Daniel deliver, that was the year Daniel delivered. Daniel's making $40 million. Dak's arguing to make $60 million.
Can we send it back if that was the delivery?
I got better one for you, though. If Daniel Jones is on the market, because everybody likes to talk about Kirk Cousins, right? Yep. They're not even in the same ballpark.
No.
If he was on the market,
nobody's coming.
Do you think teams is going to get him?
Not this year. Last year, after the playoff win,
3,200.